This week we're learning about a new type of art called pop art. Pop art is made from commercial items and cultural icons such as product labels, advertisements, and movie stars. In a way, pop art was a reaction to serious abstract expressionist art. Pop art is meant to be fun. There are similar sounding types of art called opt art. Opt art is art that uses optical illusions to trick the eye. In this lesson, you'll be drawing your own pop art landscape. Directions: draw the landscape by using different types of patterns. So pop art uses different types of bright colors, shapes, lines, and patterns. So this is the example of your pop art landscape you'll be drawing today. So before we get started, we're going to write our name on the back and class code. Once you're done, you're going to flip over the paper, and your paper is going to be horizontal because landscapes are always horizontal. So for step number 1, draw a curved line in the middle of the paper horizontally. So here is picture number 1, and here is the middle of the paper, and we're going to draw a nice curved line. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, draw a curved line below the first curved line. This line is the foreground. The foreground means that it is going to be in the front of the landscape. So this is step number 2. So step number 2, so see here it's going to be the same. So I'm going to draw the same type of line. See how I'm drawing the same type of line? So it's the same 2 parallel lines. So now we're moving on to step 3. Draw a square on the left side of the hill. Draw a triangle on the top of the square for the house. So now we're on picture number 3, and here is the left side, and here we're drawing a square for our house. Now, because my line is different from the picture, I'm going to draw my house up here. And I'm going to go small and see how I'm going very light, going back and forth, drawing my line straight. And I'm just marking out. Perfect. Now we're going to draw our triangle. Now the triangle is going to be out. So this is horizontal line out from the square line because our roof is going to be wider than the actual house. Now we're going to move on to step number 4. Draw one tree trunk in the middle of the curved line next to the house. So here's picture number 4. Here's the tree trunk. The tree trunk is going to be here in the middle. So it's going to be next to, but in the middle. The tree trunk has curved lines. So watch as I'm drawing. Curved line, zigzag, 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 curved line. Now I want to make this curved line a little bit more skinnier, and this curved line skinnier. Okay, fix this line. So when you are drawing your tree branches, 2 parallel curved lines. Parallel means that they are not touching, but they are similar next to each other. And 1, 2, 3, 4 zigzag lines. Now, the next part of step 4 says draw another tree trunk on the right side of the curved line. So here is the next tree trunk, and it's going to be tiny. So it's going to be smaller, but not too tiny, but smaller. See how the different size? So it's going to be so this one's next to the house, and this one will be on the far right side. Step number 5, draw small curved lines around the 3 tree trunks. Actually, what I mean by that is that the tree trunks, we have 2 tree trunks, but I want you to draw another tree. So here's step number 5's picture. We're going to draw curve, 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 curve line. So that's one tree, and now we have the other tree. Now this tree, it starts from the bottom of the first curve line. Curve, 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 and curve. So curving around the bark, not to the bark, but around the bark. Now we're gonna move over to the far left side next to the house. Curve, 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 curve on the right side. There's no bark here, but this is a 3rd tree. So we have 1, 2, 3 trees now. Now we're gonna move on to step number 6. Step number 6 is to draw 4 flowers in the foreground of your landscape. You can draw any type of flower. So over here in the picture, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers. I'm gonna draw the same exact flowers, but you could draw any flowers you like in your foreground. This is the foreground, which is the bottom. So I'm gonna draw this flower. And I'm not drawing too big, but I'm also not drawing too small. So I want a good medium-sized flower. And then I'm gonna draw the leaves for my flower. So that's 1. And now down here, here's the second one. I'm gonna start on the bottom of the paper. And I'm gonna draw around 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna do another leaf. So here's our another leaf. And now we're gonna draw a tulip. So now this one has a stem. So I drew 2 curved lines for my stem. If you wanna add stems to your flowers, you can. This is your picture. So you can add whatever you want. Now I'm gonna draw my last flower. And I'm gonna start in the above and going around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now I have my flowers. I'm gonna move on to step number 7. Draw curved lines in the grass. So first we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the grass and we're gonna draw these curved lines in the grass. So how we're gonna do that? Curve, 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 and we're gonna keep on adding curved lines all the way across the page. You want to make sure that you're only doing the curved lines in these 2 parallel curved lines here, not in the flowers. Here, not here. Now we're going to move on to the next part. Draw horizontal lines on the right tree. So here's the right tree, and we're going to draw some horizontal lines. Want to make sure they're even, so you take your time, make sure that these lines are even. Okay, so when you have your horizontal lines, we're going to move on to now you add diagonal lines to this tree. So we're learning still about using different type of lines to create patterns in a landscape. And in my landscape, the trees are in the middle ground, which means the middle of my drawing. Okay, so now you have the trees done. We're gonna move on to step number 8. Step number 8 is to draw the sky with large dots. So, circles. And you're gonna go all in the sky, and the sky is the background. And pop art has a lot of shapes as well. And pop art is non-realistic. So you don't see circles in the sky, but in pop art you do. I'm not adding too much. I do want to see the sky still. So I'm just going around. Don't add too many circles. Okay, now if you have a black marker, crayon, or colored pencil, you're gonna outline. If you don't, then you could start coloring for the finishing step of number 8. You can use these colors or you can use your own colors to color. So the landscape is now finished and complete. I copied the example, but you can use your own colors that you have to create the drawing. Please do not copy. I just use this to show you exactly how it should look when it's finished and colored. Important note, parents, please take a picture of the work, send to mromeo@mbcad.org. Assignment due June 5th.